Hey guys, welcome to Boquillo, and I am your host, Gabby Estrada. So, for today, I wanted to take some time to share my findings from my latest book that I read, my latest business book, and it's called 168 Hours. I encountered this book when I was surfing through the library. That's honestly how I find most of my business books that I want to read. I do have, if you can't hear all of the podcasts, I do have a blog post that summarizes basically what I'm going to share today at Poquillo, Poquillo.me. Again, it's Poquillo.me. But if you have time to listen to this podcast, you can do that too. So when I was reading this book, the author makes a solid point to get you hooked in the first couple of pages. So Laura starts talking about this mom that has 6 kids. And not only that, she is a founder and CEO of a construction company in New York that has revenue in the 7 digits. And that alone, I was like so shocked how she managed to do all of that together. But the book later tells us that she also has time to do her makeup, do her nails, get her hair done, and even go hiking with her dog to have that personal time. If that wasn't all, the author later starts talking about this software Google engineer that works 50 hours a day, does a job as a professor too, teaching students, goes and does marathons, does coaching as well. Like, he's very, very involved. And they both manage to sleep 8 hours a day. And specifically for this software engineer, it says there that he still had 28.5 hours to do other stuff. And in that timeline, it also tells us that he has 7 hours to watch TV, which is like really crazy to me because I've been complaining recently that I don't have enough time to be involved with my community, with like my church and work, and like do a side hustle. But these 2 stories really prove me wrong. Now, after the intro, the key is that I wanted to learn, okay, how are they able to do all of this? And before Laura kind of gave me the solution, she gives us some exercise to do. And one of them is to do like a sheet that tracks your time, that you can, like, every hour that you're doing something, you write it down there. So at the end of a week, you can analyze overall how you are spending your time. So I copied her template. I went and on Excel and recreated that, and kind of made it a little bit of my style. And when I printed that, I did that for like 2 weeks. And basically my findings was that I did have enough time to do other things, but it seemed that I was just spending my time in the wrong things. So it seemed like besides work, I was spending a lot of time in front of the TV. And it kind of did make me feel a little bit better that other people that she interviewed in the book, they kind of had that same thing in common. So I had to correct that. So to do that, the next step is to basically take that tracker that you use to see how you were using your time, to then use it to create your like perfect routine, your perfect schedule. And so I did do that as well. I kind of like did like, okay, this is when I want to sleep. This is when like I want to be on social media and spend time with uh, the community service that I am doing on the side. And what I discovered is that I had a lot of empty slots that I could do other things. Um, but then the problem became that I didn't know what to fill up that time with. I didn't want to go back to the TV and spend my time there. I want to be more productive. So Laura, I mean, she's amazing. Like, even though she wrote this year, like this book, like in 2007, it's just so applicable what she wrote here. So she talks about that when that happens, what you can do is get a list of 100 dreams. That's what she calls it. And basically, it's just a simple list where you write down all of the things that you want to do in the short and long term. And not only does it make your brain like think of more things you want to do in the future, but also it makes a point for those ideas or those dreams to not just stay as dreams, but for you to incorporate them somehow into your routine. So for example, I want to learn how to play the piano. So I can say, okay, I'll dedicate a Saturday to 1 hour to look at tutors or find a tutor. It doesn't have to be like large chunks. It can just be little by little. Now I did have to make some modifications so that to fit my lifestyle, to fit how my brain works and processes things. So besides just using my this schedule of like I need to wake up at 6, go to bed by 11, I also leverage my monthly planner more to work in tandem with this routine. So if I know that I need to, deliver a website by such and such date, I go to that specific date and I write that as an item to get done. And once I am finished with that, I just scratch it out. So basically, I have my routine and then I have my monthly planner for me to accomplish things. And so far, I feel that I've been more productive. I feel less tired by watching less TV. I mean, it's not bad to watch 15, 30 minutes or I mean, I guess even an hour a week. But at least for me, what I find is that the shows that I watch, they're like super sticky. And you say you are going to watch TV for 15 minutes, but when you less notice, that ends up being a whole hour or even more than that. So I just feel like I need a pause, need a detox from TV for the time being. And I'll repurpose that time in other projects that are just more urgent for me right now. So yeah, that's what I learned from my latest business book read. And if you go to the library, I'm pretty sure that you can find a free copy there to rent out for a few weeks. Or, I mean, there's like Amazon, Kindle. There's just so many websites where you can get it for a low price. But yeah, let me know what you think of what are your findings, if it's working for you or not working for you. And if you have any recommendations for me, let me know. I'm all ears for that. And before I let you go, I'll just remind you that if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so that you get the latest updates with this podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.